Hello, everyone, and thanks for tuning in for our yet another episode. And today's guest is a special one. We have Oleg Gun, CEO of Gemunion. So, hello, Oleg. How are you doing today?
Hey guys, it's a pleasure to be here.
Okay, so amazing to have you here. And I think it's no secret that today we're going to talk about some play-to-earn games, decentralized gaming, crypto, and stuff. And first thing I wanted to ask you, so decentralized games, blockchain-based games, GameFi projects, are these like similar concepts or they're just different?
The gamification could be added to any project, but the game, it's something different. It's only about the game. It has intent to spend your time joyfully.
Mm-hmm. So basically, what unites these concepts is actually crypto, blockchain technology, right? So
Yeah, that's true.
what defines a crypto game actually? So how does it differ from traditional gaming experiences?
Speaking of traditional games, we have to refer to the history. And for years, people were playing like physical games like chess. And in early 90s, when the computers became affordable for average people, they start to fit on a desktop, we received a new platform for gaming. After that, we have consoles and mobile phones, and these concepts were different. In the 90s, we were exchanging CD disks and cartridges, and with mobile games, we discovered a new model of monetization of these games. It's freemium and microtransactions. And now we developed, like, it's not now, but you know what I mean. We developed new platform blockchain, and games slowly migrate into there. And this platform, it defines the shape of the game. So what, like, an ideal Web3 game should be fully on chain, and the front end for this game has to be on IPFS. But I know very few amount of such games, and those games are probably small casual games. When we are speaking about Web3 gaming, I refer to Web 2.5, because those games, they has game servers, they have database, they store some information, some leaderboard in there. So this is what Web3 game is.
So each time the technology advances, like new branch of gaming appears, right? So should these blockchain-based games stay online, fully chained to Web3 realm, or they just should be incorporated with Web2 world as well?
As I said, it's very difficult to make a proper game fully on chain. You have to have a database, and the database is not for user balances, but just to access information faster. So they have to incorporate Web2, and they have to incorporate everything we had before, because even now we still have desktop games and mobile games. And even if those games add Web3, they still has a platform.
So it is possible in the near future build such game. Okay, so the next question is, what are the key benefits of decentralized games for gamers and game developers?
For gamers, it's true ownership of the asset. It's definitely this. And for game developers, we have to refer to capitalism for this. And the capitalism is about, it cannot exist on one market. It has to be expanded for new and new markets. And for game developers, it's a good opportunity to expand. Say Ubisoft, it's expanding to get more players.
So we've touched the topic of digital asset ownership. So can you describe this concept, for newcomers, for those who just, don't know about that, this concept for decentralized games, and how is it significant for real players?
Okay, so in traditional gaming with a database, game stores balance of player inside the database, and records from that database, they can be added or erased just by willing of the company who owns the game. But with blockchain, it's much more difficult. So this defines a true ownership. You have an asset that cannot be deleted by the game developer, and this also means that the market, the secondary market of the game, is not inside the game. It's outside the game, like on OpenSea. You can trade your assets and the game itself cannot disallow you to do this.
So are we speaking about NFTs?
NFTs, but you also can trade coins.
Yeah,
like
sure.
You have to trade them.
Yeah, that's one of the key advantage of blockchain games. So you can, exchange, for example, one asset from one game to another asset from the other game. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's true. I really willing to have such assets you can use inside the different game. I mean, use in two different games at the same time. Unfortunately, we are just heading to that point.
So is that one asset for two games or just two separate assets, somehow combined into one?
No, it's one asset for two games. And the difficulties here is in visualization of this asset, because different games has different style of rendering, and this asset cannot fit to another game. Like one is realistic and another one is more like cartoon, so it just won't fit.
Because
it would be really cool to shoot my gun from Counter-Strike in another game.
Yeah, well, because I see here like a problem with like game publishers and stuff, because they are not likely to agree to like create a mutual asset to be traded within different products, different games, or it is not such a big problem here.
The thing is, we have different publishers, but different publishers has different games. I mean, if these are games from one publisher, why not? If small casual games, why not? We have a lot of examples of platforms who try to build such ecosystem with a lot of games incubated inside of this ecosystem. Same token for payment, same DeFi token. They hope to have NFTs that could be used in different games. I mean, I started from such company back in 2018, and I know how it ended. It ended with crypto winter, but the idea is still cool.
Yeah, actually, yeah. But it could be a problem to connect Web3 and Web2 world. For example, like Axie Infinity, they cannot share their own asset to like a game from, I don't know, from Rockstar or Ubisoft. It's hard to imagine their asset appearing on such games.
Does it mean the commission is not high enough?
Well, that's up to debate, obviously. Okay, so I'm thinking that it would be quite possible to like merge these two worlds, Web 2 and Web 3. But say in like next GTA, like GTA not 6 but 7, it could be possible to trade such asset with like Axie Infinity and such games.
I believe yes.
It's like in 10 years, for example.
I mean, now we already have these avatars that you can use in different worlds. So this is just one asset, it's avatar. But why not weapons, shields, like axes, like characters from the game? Why not?
Okay, so I'm thinking of asking you like what GameFi projects you like and what are the unique features.
I like educational projects. Most of my life I'm working with some lesson management systems, and we created like really good project back in 2021 that involves blockchain.
And what was that?
It was MemoryOS. When I create such a project, I do something good for people. I mean, it's not an advertisement of cigarettes or alcohol. It's really something good, and especially when it's done for kids.
Okay, so but there's a problem how to educate properly if people just don't pay attention to that. So how do you involve people in such projects?
Yeah, you see, so the best way of education is gaming. The kids are learning during playing the games with their parents and other kids, so why not to create a game where they can study how to use MetaMask.
So
it's just
think that this but because there is I believe an age restriction for using crypto assets and something like that, or there isn't such a problem here using MetaMask for like teaching how to use MetaMask for like 5 years old.
I understand your point of view. No, I'm not saying teach kids to use MetaMask, but at some point my mom started to use MetaMask, and she's playing so rare.
Yeah. So for like grown-ups, you refer to.
Yeah, and like the senior people, they're like kids.
Okay, so now I see that. Okay, so that's actually a good concept, to this crypto knowledge into masses and elderly people, like those who are older than us, teach them. That's actually a noble goal, and one big step for crypto expansion and crypto adoption, obviously. Okay, but not everything here in crypto is so like good looking. Obviously, there are critics of like blockchain-based games, and they say that they are valuable to hacks and exploits. So how do you deal with that? How decentralized games actually enhance their security measures?
This is completely true. But everything is vulnerable. Web2 games are vulnerable too, and physical ledgers, they are vulnerable too.
Yeah, but you can't like hack your money out of Web2 game. You can, obviously crack the game and get it for free, which is not obviously, well, it is not good. Okay, but you can't steal money, actually, your real money from Web3 games, and it is much more severe.
Can I win in casino?
Well, it is another world of gaming, I should say. But
same way I can hack a Web2 game. Like, I can sell in-game items for real money. I did this some time ago. So this is the game company.
You refer to in-game marketplaces.
Yeah,
because I was thinking about like marketplaces where you buy and sell when you buy games. Like Steam and
like Steam.
Yeah. Because now I see your point.
How can I hack Steam? There are some torrent sites.
Yeah, I was referring to that, which is not obviously great, but yeah, that's one way to put it. But obviously there are marketplaces where you can scam people as well in Web2 world.
Yeah. This is real life. We cannot completely remove these risks, but we can mitigate them.
And how?
Different solutions. Like you can learn your seed phrase and never. But it's actually also vulnerable because your memory is not so good.
Yeah,
it's true. You can forget the 16 words. So we can mitigate this. And we are working on this on many directions.
Okay, but how decentralized gaming enhances this? You're not only memorizing it, because memorization is up to everything.
I mean, how it makes it less hackable.
Yeah, decentralized world, how this solves this problem?
I don't think it makes less hackable.
So
you still can just lose your password.
So with this new technology, new problems arise.
Okay, let's look at this problem from another point. 90% of all hacks related to malware, or like people are telling their passwords to strangers this or other ways. Like 90% of all hacks, it's social engineering. Those 10%, we can mitigate them.
So you should rather protect this 10% rather than battle 90%.
No, I do what I know how to do.
Okay.
So I know how to do this from technical perspective, and I do this.
Speaking about another problem of blockchain-based games, so don't you think that decentralized gaming actually contribute to wealth inequality by favoring early adopters of the game, especially whales?
This is completely true. But what about Web2 games? They do this the same.
So the same problem goes to Web3 as well.
Yeah, and Web3 is not about solving this exact problem.
And how do you think it could be solved for Web3 world?
Of course, transparency adds to this. So you cannot just add a lot of in-game items to someone's account.
So like limits the number of received assets, right?
Yeah. Then about the whales, they're investing into the game, so they expecting to get more revenue from this. It's kind of...
Well, nobody actually forbids you from buying a lot if you're wealthy. Like, what would you do with that money if you have it? But, there's definitely a problem here. And I think that's just how the world actually works. From ages, there are always those who are wealthy and those who are poor, and I don't know, in our best interests, to bridge that gap and like make it less obvious, so to say. Won't you agree with that?
You see, I'm not searching for the problem in investors. I'm rather searching for the problem in scammers.
So this actually be battle, like to beat scamming in their upbringing.
Probably yes.
So make scamming less appealing to forbid people, to make people not to fall for that schemes, to be a reasonable playing gentleman rather than scammers.
You see, the whole Web3 is very volatile, and last week we lost two big sales worth $100 billion. Only in Web3 we can have this, and that was kind of fair business. So to fight with unfair business, we have to apply rules. I don't want to say SEC does this, but they're trying. They're applying new rules to Web3 space. And some of those rules, they're actually good, but only some.
Yeah, this is definitely up to debate for another topic. Okay, but can you share an example of a decentralized game that faced severe backlash or community outrage due to some controversial in-game decisions, events?
From the top of my head, I can name only NFT Panda, probably. After one updates, the community decided that the game is leaving Web3 space and moving back to Web2.
Really?
They started to leave the game, if this example answers your question.
And in your experience, in the project you've been associated with, did you have such, cases?
Your management, not enough investment in security during IDO can result in spike on a chart, and you would be dumped to the ground.
So it solves a proper investment in the first stages to make the project flow in the future, right?
First stages are crucial, yeah.
And what comes out next? So and what happened with that project actually?
Then you have to deliver more and more functionality to your game. More and more functionality is easy to deliver because you have two things. You have the game and you have the community. And if you don't have the game, you don't have the community, you have nothing to deliver or deliver to nobody. And
don't you think that nowadays such games just lack of new modern approaches to sustain the attention of a user to play such game?
I would say games lack of end-game content. First stages, they're done pretty well, but the in-game content is not about the current games. Probably Axie Infinity survived for such long times because it delivers updates all the time, and we can consider this as late game content. P2E games, they don't have end-game content. It's just not supposed to be there. You're just walking for tokens. And what can you do next?
So you have to entertain people, keep entertaining people in order to make it a large user base, a constant followers, who will continue playing the game, right?
Yeah, while maintaining it easy to enter the game at any stage.
But that's another actually topic for that. How to make the game more accessible for newcomers. This is another topic because to keep the user for playing the game and to get them started, these are two different concepts, right?
It's true. Say we have casual games and it's easy to enter the game at any moment. But when you have really big game, I'm trying to recall a name, Path of Exile, it's huge, man. So many instances and different zones.
I've heard of that. I think it is third-person MMORPG, right?
Diablo.
Yeah.
Diablo has to be. I don't know how to put this in English. Sorry. At some point, Diablo has to become PoE, but it never did.
But do such projects have the potential to appear in Web3 market? Because there are definitely lots of content, lots of production hours and stuff.
To create a PoE on Web3 on chain. Is my dream. It's such a huge game, and our project has all mechanics for this to support this on Web3. I really want. And another example is Warhammer with all this army management. We are completely ready to implement this on chain, but we don't have proper context.
That's the problem. And also make it educational, right?
Sure. Sure, to learn about Warhammer universe.
But there's a lot of stuff to be learned in that universe, obviously, because I didn't even touch that topic. But yeah, I've heard about some stories about that, and the lore is just immense in there. Okay, so like concluding our talk, so as we touched upon this topic of future and how we can incorporate these big names in Web3 world. So looking ahead, what actually excites you the most about the future of decentralized gaming?
I really expect from this new bull run some new token standard.
Mm-hmm.
Some old good standards to be adopted. Like we have really good DeFi standard 223 that I really expect to be adopted. It's about notification of your transactions. And I really expect token standard for NFTs that allows to build complex structures like buildings with different rooms, like armies with different soldier composition, something like this.
Interesting. Yeah, that'll be actually fresh, adding something to the market, but that's upon the technology side of blockchain. But what about like in-game content?
Oh, I believe in Ubisoft and Disney. They announced a partnership with Flow, so I believe we are covered on.
Yeah, I've heard about it. Yeah, I think Ubisoft is one of the pioneers for embracing this Web3 technology, and maybe they are the first ones to be taking steps to this future rather than other companies, because I haven't actually seen such news about other giants of the industry to be stepping in.
Oh, it was news some time ago about World of Warcraft.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Nothing happened. Yeah, maybe they will try again.
And do you expect that?
I don't expect they will do this in World of Warcraft, but I do expect this from Blizzard, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that would be absolutely amazing, right? Okay, so, well, in that amazing point, I think that was like an amazing talk about the future and actually the present of gaming and Web 2 and Web 3. So just to remind you guys, our guest today is Oleg Gan, CEO of Gemunion. So thanks again for joining us here.
Thanks guys for having me here. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, me too. So see you around, and thanks for watching again.